Hi everyone, my name's Eileen Durfee and I'm here to explain what you get in the Tri-Oxy FRESH and the Tri-Oxy Refresher. The FRESH is the ozone generator. It makes ozone gas that we pump through tubes into a diffuser that goes into a liquid like water. This is the diffuser that comes with a filter cap that you screw on here, and then you can hook the tube from any ozone generator onto it. So let's go over what comes in each. The Tri-Oxy FRESH is an 800 milligram per hour ozone generator, and it's generated from corona discharge. So it takes ambient air to generate ozone gas. So with corona discharge, you're able to make stronger concentrations of ozone that work great for ozonating water, for drinking, cleaning vegetables, maybe doing an enema. If you're going to leave the house, you can turn this on and let it discharge into the air and to clean the air. But other than that, this is not a medical grade unit. It is not fed by oxygen tanks. It is not good for insufflation because it still produces 0.003% nitric acid, which you cannot use in medical grade, but it's sufficient for cleaning foods, making them safe, and using ozonated water for drinking. So it comes with 2 different silicone tubes. After maybe about a year, this is going to start to turn yellow, so you have an extra one that you can replace. But as long as the gas moves through it, it's still good. So literally you could use the tubes for years. It comes with a remote control. You can either turn on the unit with the touch pad here, and you can up and down the ozone, or you can turn on up and down with intermittent timing with the remote. Here it is. So I just set it for 10 minutes, and then it will start pumping ozone gas out this hole, which we don't want to discharge it in the air when we are, here to breathe it. So I'm not going to let it go through its cycle. And then what you would do with this is take a tube and put it on that port, and then you would choose an ozone diffuser. This kit comes with 3 diffusers. These are about 150 micron stone diffusers, meaning the holes or the pores in the stone are 150 microns. So these make larger bubbles of air. Now, the smaller the hole, the smaller the bubble, the more surface area, the quicker you can saturate water with ozone gas. So water only holds so much ozone. There's like a saturation limit. So to save the life of the ozone generator, it's great to have smaller holes. This is 50 to 60, and it's stainless steel, FDA approved. That's a really good diffuser because it's going to be a lot quicker, like 10 times quicker of saturating your ozone. So instead of running this thing for 30 minutes, you could run it for 5 minutes and do the same work. But there's times when you like these bigger balls. Like I'll fill up like half my sink and then throw in a bunch of vegetables and things like that, and I'll put the stone diffuser in there, and then I'll turn on the exhaust fan to exhaust out the extra ozone gas, and then I leave and I'm doing something else. So then I come back after, because I've set it for a predetermined time. So then there's no ozone gas in the house to breathe, but my water is saturated with ozone gas, and it's cleaning my vegetables, making them safe, and then I can just swish the vegetables. For instance, E. coli is a common pathogen where food will be recalled, maybe on lettuce or even on strawberries. But it only takes 0.1 part per million of dissolved ozone to kill it in 15 seconds. Now this machine is going to make 1.5 part per million, not 0.1, so it's 10 times as much. So we're literally talking in seconds for it to destroy these pathogens that are on our food that can literally kill us. So you can make them safe. You can take the burden off of your immune system. Even if it's not enough of a pathogen to kill you, It's something that your immune system is dealing with on a daily basis, every time you eat. And so the larger pores work well because, you know, your vegetables float. It's like an iceberg. There's a lot of them down below the water surface, but then the extra gas kind of filters up through the vegetation, you know, and having that sanitizing effect. So that's where you would use these type of diffusers versus when you're going to try to dissolve ozone gas in liquid, you're going to want to use this smaller stainless steel one. And so you would typically, without an ozone diffusing system, you would just put the diffuser on the end of the tube and then it will ozonate the water. So that's kind of what comes with the Tri-Oxy FRESH and ways of how to use it. And also I wanted to make a note that this machine is not set up to ozonate olive oil into a paste. That literally takes weeks of constant ozonation and bubbling to get the oil to turn to a paste. So this can run up to an hour and then needs to rest. And there's an intermittent timer so you can cause it to rest and then start again. Otherwise, if you run it for an hour, bypass that safety mechanism and keep on running it for an hour and an hour and an hour and an hour, you will burn it up. That's not what this is meant for. But typically you just need to run it for 5, 10, maybe maximum 30 minutes to get the desired effect. So now when we went over the dangers of breathing ozone gas, I talked about that we needed to get rid of that extra gas that doesn't dissolve in the air, which by diffusion method is 85% of what this machine makes. So that's quite a bit. So I came up with the Tri-Oxy Refresher. And by the way, you can buy both of these in a kit and save extra money. So this is just a filter cap. And it comes pre-installed with a screen, a metal screen in here. And then it has a fiber filter there. So that's pre-installed. You don't need to do anything there. What you do need to do is you get this baggie of these pellets. Now these pellets are going to degas ozone for probably 10 years. And so you need to pour them in this cup. This is the degassing cap. Put your finger over the hole so you don't have pellets going in that hole. There's a little technique to it. Pour, shake, so it kind of levels down there. So keeping that finger over that hole. Now if you can look there, there's an O-ring in the center. If that O-ring is not there or you lose it, you're going to smell ozone gas. It's critical to have that in there. And then there's a washer there. So lift up your finger and then tighten that down. Okay. You just do that once, it's going to last 10 years. And so now we have to attach the hose. There's a short hose that comes with this kit and 2 diffusers. So you've got one that's 0.5 microns. I mean, that really gets the gas into the water fast. And then you have the 50 to 60 micron one. So with this 0.5 micron one, you must blow out the water, or the minerals in the water will clog it, and then this won't work but one time. So I'll show you the trick to that. So there is the diffuser. It's easiest to put this onto the tube first because you kind of got to stretch it out. It's got barbs on it. Okay, so that's not coming off of there. Then on the bottom of this filter cap, there's a little tip as well. So now I have the tube and the diffuser. So we can put some water. I usually actually take spring water and fill that in there. I can smell the chlorine, but this is going to get rid of the chlorine and all the chemicals in the water. But then you just screw it on. And don't tighten it too tight or you're going to have a real rough time getting it off there. But you can see how the diffuser is in there. Then we connect our tube on the top. Now you can see on the top there's holes. That's where pure oxygen comes out, of course in non-flammable concentrations. But the other thing I want to caution you about is don't turn the jar to the side and have water go up into the cap. Remember there was that white filter media with the stainless steel mesh and then those rocks, because you'll have dripping black rock powder getting into your water. So it's important when you fill this up with water, keep it to here so when the bubbles are created, the bubbles aren't going up in here and getting this moist. However, if you knock it over and you accidentally get it wet, no problem. Just take some paper towels, lay them out, dump out the rocks, because they're rocks, they're copper and manganese rocks. Just dump them out, let all the filters completely dry, and then you put them back in there because the filter won't work if that's wet. So basically, we're gonna turn this on and we'll just let it run to give you a little demonstration. And if you look, there's a swirling action. So even though most of the action and bubbles are over here, you can see there's like a tornado circulation happening. So all of that water is getting ozonated.